Welcome to the Genuine ScLoHo, aka Scott Howard podcast. This is an ongoing collection of media, marketing, and personal insights, and this is episode number 409 with the title, Timeless Marketing Question, What is your USP? There's a rough transcription of this podcast online at my website, scotthoward.me. If you'd like to go back and read or check out the links I mentioned, you'll find them there, scotthoward.me. I'll be updating this podcast every week. However, there may be additional material that I write that doesn't make it into the podcast version, but is on my website at scotthoward.me. And even though I'm recording this at the Federated Media Studios in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and I work for ScLoHo Radio, and this is being promoted by my employer, everything that I say or write is strictly my own thoughts and not necessarily the opinions of Federated Media or any of their affiliations and or advertisers. Enough of the fine print, let's dig in. Like I mentioned a week ago, I'm taking a couple of weeks to freshen up a couple of articles that I first published 14 years ago. The content from today was first published on November 23rd, 2011, and it's timeless. This is also the 1,699th article that I've published, plus it's Thanksgiving week. So next week, I'll be kicking off the month of December 2025 with fresh content for my 1700th article. Let's go here. What is your USP? No, that's not computer slang, tech talk, or otherwise. USP. It's been defined slightly differently by different experts of advertising for the past 50 plus years. There's the term unique selling proposition or unique selling point, which if you clicked on both of the links that I put in my article on my website, you'll see it is a matter of which noun to use. Anyway, when you read about it, you can read about it, but most important is to know what yours is. For me, it started back in 1986 when I crossed over from the programming and on-air side of radio to the advertising and commercial side with a career shift that took me to Detroit and Crawford Broadcasting's radio station WMUZ. That's when I first heard of this USP concept. Now, when I wrote this article originally back in 2011, it was a Sunday, and I was sitting in my overall favorite coffee shop and realized that their USP, what it was for me at least, they have overflowing cups of coffee. Yes, really. You get a specialty cup of Joe, like my favorite, which was a white mocha, and then they add the homemade whipped cream, and you cannot put a lid on it until you sip away some of that mixture. Now, other coffee shops, they just give you less coffee if you ask for whipped cream, or they ask, do you need room for cream? The next time I saw the owner of this place, I asked them if this is something that they have as a policy or if it's something that they just do. Because overflowing cups of your favorite coffee beverage, made especially for you, is their USP. If you don't know what your unique selling proposition is, you risk becoming lost in the shuffle. Each person has a USP too. Mine used to be the radio guy with a beard, or at least at first glance. Now I'm also known as ScLoHo in social media circles at least. Here's a challenge. Ask your customers to write a sentence that describes your business to them. Collect as many of these as possible over the next couple of weeks or months, depending upon your business cycle. Also, ask your friends, your coworkers, your clients, etc., to write 3 words that describe you. Collect those and be prepared for a few surprises, if they're honest. Because perception is reality when it comes to your USP. Focus on your strengths now that you know what they are. Do you have any questions, looking for answers, thoughts of nearly any kind are always welcome. You can find me online at my website at scotthoward.me. Also on social media, on X at ScLoHo, on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and a few other places online. Just Google ScLoHo, that's spelled ScLoHo, and you'll probably find more of me. You can drop me a note via email too. It's scott@wowo.com. That's scott@wowo.com.
Podcasts by Federated Media.